Hi guys, welcome to my summertime houseplant tour. I'm finally going to do it today. I have over 100 plants. I'm not sure exactly how many plants that I have. So I'm going to try and cover as many rooms as I can, but realistically I'll probably only be doing the living room and the kitchen. And then I'll kind of split this video into two parts where I'll do the hallway and the bedroom. In part two, the sun is kind of in and out, but I can't wait any longer for this weather to settle. So yeah, excuse the lighting will be kind of all over the place, but I really wanted to show my plants in their best light, and that is always when the sun is hitting them. And I've been waiting. What time is it now? I think it's almost 3 o'clock and I've been waiting all day. It's been so cloudy, but look at it now. So let's get into this video. So I thought I'd start from this side of the room, and as you can see, the Monstera Thai constellation in the background has got a bit of sun on her, or him. But anyway, let's start with the first plant. And I think it'll have to be my Splendid. Look at the size of this plant. Can you believe that I've only had this plant for about 9 months? I'll put the correct, let me see, I got it in, I think September, and we're in June now. So yeah, I've not had it a full year yet. And I have chopped this plant twice already, and we're on the 4th extension pole. So I mean, it's standing at about 6 foot at the moment. And she's so gorgeous. I love this plant so much. It's so easy to take care of. Oh, look at that. With the light on it, it seems to really like this area. It's getting, I would say, oh, it's getting quite high light. It's getting very high light. I do shower this plant actually once a week when it's really hot, but every 2 weeks. I try and do it every 2 weeks, definitely. And it really does like it. I get a chance to clean the back of the leaves. Let's have a look at the back. Check out that leaf. How pretty is that? And yeah, like I said, one of the easiest plants in my collection. My gorgeous philodendron. Splendid. Oh my gosh, check that out. We've already got another leaf coming. And this will need to be chopped. And since we're in the summer, I will be chopping this plant. So maybe I'll do that on my next video, who knows. Right next to that plant on the floor is my Begonia maculata. It's the polka dot, also known as the polka dot plant. Another plant that has this red backing to the leaves, which I love. And I also just love the dots on the leaves. There's nothing else in my collection that really has that dotty leaf. So, and look, they're like angel wings. They're so cute. The leaves kind of pop out as two. So it's kind of like a mirror image, which I think is adorable. This plant is in sphagnum moss. And that's the only way I can kind of get it to survive. It comes out in the summer, and then in the winter I put this plant in a propagation box. I didn't actually tell you about this plant. So the philodendron splendid actually pretty much survives on its moss pole. There aren't really any roots down there, but I did put leca balls. There's probably some roots down there, but very few. Most of the roots are actually in the moss pole. Okay, next, oh my gosh, where to begin? Let's start with this gorgeous Hoya Wietii. I've had this plant, oh my gosh. It's finally, the flowers are finally budded, oh my gosh. Look at that. This is the first time I'm actually seeing this. Oh my gosh. She's so pretty. I wonder if there's a scent. Let me see. No, it doesn't smell of anything. Oh Oh my gosh, that's so cute, look. So yeah, I've had this plant for 2 years, or almost 2 years. And I actually got this plant at the same time as the plant behind, which I'll talk about next. But this year is the first year that it's actually thrown out peduncles, and it has just gone nuts. We've got one there, we've got one here, ready to bloom. We've got another one right here. Check that out. Another peduncle right there. I mean, it's just, there's another one here. There's so many. There's probably more and I've just not discovered them yet. But I absolutely love this plant. I give it highlight. It's in front of a southeast facing window. Excuse the noise, I've got the window open. Yeah, it's in front of a southeast facing window. And it's also under lights as well. But I mean, this plant has been moved around. Before I placed it here, it was under plant lights, very high light. And yeah, I think that's the reason why. I mean, look, it took a while. It took 2 years, but now it is blooming like crazy. Should we have one more look? This gorgeous flower. It's kind of fluffy. I don't know, I'm gonna have to have a proper look later, but she is so pretty. I love the depth of the red as well, because I don't have anything like that. Or I've not seen a flower in my collection like that. But yeah, very happy, very proud of this little one. So pleased that I still have that plant. Behind I have the Crimson Queen, another Hoya. Sorry, it's the Crimson Princess, what am I saying? So with the green on the outside, that's like, it's like the way to kind of find out whether it's the Queen or the Princess. And I love how the new leaves will have this kind of little pink flicker that will eventually go down to a creamy white. And yeah, both of these plants are, in fact, most of my Hoyas are in pon. They all have little reservoirs as well. I don't know if I can get in there to show you that, but I'll show you on another plant. But yeah, it's been literally just going nuts. Just very recently, all of them have just been growing and maturing. I haven't found any peduncles on the Princess yet, but we'll give it some time. Summer hasn't quite arrived yet. Let's move on to the next one. So the next one is my Anthurium forgetii, and it's the dark form. This was a gift from a friend of mine, and this is its latest leaf, which is absolutely stunning. I recently put it over here under plant lights. Sorry, just trying to, yeah, I put it under plant lights, kind of in higher light actually, and it also gets some daylight, but kind of slightly more dappled. And it seems to be really loving it, because that leaf definitely has upsized from the previous leaf. I've had the plant for under a year, and I think I got it last year, September, so that's 4 + 6. I've had it 10 months. 10 months! I also was given this little Anthurium Bakeri from the same person as a gift. I have more of this plant. There's probably about 3 plants in there, and it is showing signs of getting strappy. So I'm very excited to see what it's going to do this summer. But oh, I wonder if it's, I mean, I think they're going to get as long as my Warwickwinearium leaves. I'll show you that plant soon. It's coming up. But yeah, it's also in pon. It's, you know, it's now not as juvenile, and you know, it's kind of easier to take care of now that it's a little bit more mature. I've got to say that the more mature the plant, the easier it seems to be. But yeah, I'll keep you updated on this guy. I'm hoping by the end of the summer it's going to be double the size, but we will see. I'm going to put you back in Oh, mind the Hoya. That's where it lives. Okay, let's go down. Shall we do, let's do this little Hoya actually. It's a Hoya Matilde, and I was given this also as a gift from a subscriber, and it came with no roots. It has rooted beautifully. I put it in this gorgeous little glass vessel that I bought from work that we were selling there. You can't actually see the roots, but it most definitely is rooted because we have lots and lots of new leaves. You can see that those are new. Look at the splashy bits. I'm not sure if it's a Matilde splash. What is that on the leaf? I think it's just a bit of tissue from where I was cleaning it. And we've got a peduncle as well. We've got another one there. So it'll be exciting to see when this is gonna actually bloom, or if it does this year. I'll be surprised if it does, but I'm really pleased with the growth on this. It is an established plant as far as I'm concerned. It's so cute. I love Hoyas when they're this size. So pretty. And like, yeah. And then they get really big. But I think I'll probably keep a lot of my Hoyas quite small. I don't know, we'll see. We've got another Hoya here. This is a cutting from my Hoya linearis, and you can see it's got some length to it. The mother plant is in the hallway, which is loads bigger than this one. And this one is actually in pon, which is quite exciting. It's my little experiment there. But yeah, she's here in front of the southeast facing window in Loving Life. And I can't remember when I put this plant in pon. I would say it's been in pon for probably about 10 months, to be honest, maybe less. But yeah, it was very easy to root in pon. Next is my Anthurium crystallinum super silver, and check out this leaf. How silvery it is. I love the veination on this plant. And as you can see behind that leaf, there's one that's quite red looking. And I'm going to show you that one because that one is the newest leaf and it looks like it's really grown in size. Let me just move the Hoya Matilde very quickly. I'm going to put her up there. She'll be fine there for a minute. Yeah, so let's spin this guy around. Oh my goodness, check out that leaf. Wow, it's grown. Wow, it's really expanded. It's huge. It's almost touching the table. I'm really pleased with that. Look at its little sinus, so cute. And the earlobes, it's just perfect. It's perfect. I mustn't forget to water this plant. The previous leaves are looking a little shocking. I think all of these leaves now I grew here in my care. I think all the original leaves have croaked it. I'm going to spin it back round again. Check out the roots. Very happy. This plant is actually in a mix of tree fern fibre and soil. I think it's, oh no, it's not this one. This one is just in my my own soil mix. I have done a video on that. Sorry for the noise. We've got windows open and my fridge has just started to join in. Just try and ignore it. Okay, so yeah, had this plant since last year, September, so about 10 months. And we've got a new leaf coming as well. Very, very cute. And doing really amazing things. I actually have another Anthurium right here, which was facing forward, but I've moved it. And I think it's going to be a bit difficult getting it back out again, but let's just move this guy. And then I'll scoop this one out. Oof. Okay. Easy now, guys. No hugging. No hugging. Here we go. So this is my Anthurium pallidiflorum. It's looking a little bleached from the sun. Yeah, it's not looking good. This is the oldest leaf, and it is one of the originals. And to be honest, I've lost pretty much all the original leaves so far. So these 3 leaves that you can see here grew in my care. This was the latest one, which is looking fabulous. But we are seeing signs of underwatering or overwatering, I don't even know. But yeah, I need to kind of figure out the summertime routine with this plant now. We've got a new leaf coming, which is right there. And we also got the very first fluorescent. I have actually been taking the pollen, but you can see again today, I should actually do another one. Another scraping. And I've been saving the pollen in the freezer, sorry. And I'll probably do another video when I start experimenting with the pollen. So this one is just in my soil mix. You can see the roots are doing fabulously. I really love to have the clear vessels because it just shows me whether it needs watering or not. Like, the soil is fairly moist, but I think I will go ahead and give that a water because I don't see any condensation. And I like to use lecker balls at the bottom, just so that I can just see, well, especially with the soil ones, I want to keep the soil like above the reservoir. I don't necessarily fill the reservoirs with the anthuriums. I just try to remember to water them once a week. And whatever goes down there, goes down there. But yeah, she's a really beautiful plant. I found this plant quite easy in the beginning, but now that we're hitting our first summer, I'm struggling a little bit. Move on. I can't wait to show you my next Hoya, but actually let's just do this plant in the background, which is a crystalline pink edge. And I think if I get in there, you can kind of see it does have a pink edge. That's its latest leaf, which is still hardening off, and hopefully it'll size up a little bit more, but it is a lot bigger than the original one. The original one is kind of more slender, and the new one is looking slightly more full, but I would say they're pretty much the same length. But yeah, looking pretty good. Check out the roots. The roots are amazing. So like I said, this one's in tree fern fibre, and happy so far with what's going on with that plant. So I actually bought this plant at the same time as my crystallinum super silver that I showed you before. To be honest, all of them were pretty much bought around the same time, which was last year around my birthday. So they're all around the same age. Yeah, it's a beautiful plant. I really love it. I mean, it's also quite silvery, the leaf, but just in a slightly different way. But I think as it becomes more and more mature, you get to see those differences, very slight differences, but actually worth having, I think. Next is my Hoya cingullatus, another gift from a subscriber. I have some amazing subscribers and so giving, so gorgeous people. I'm very, very lucky. I'm making some great friends here on YouTube. And yeah, this plant, I don't know if it's given me any new leaves. Has it? I don't know. I don't think it has. I think it's just been busy rooting. You can't see the roots, but it's definitely rooted in. This is a plant that I did have to pin in, and I have removed the pins, as you can see. Yeah, she's also in pon, and in that little, got a little glass vessel for it from the store that I work at, and I'm loving it. Absolutely loving this plant. I love the kind of dusty, kind of vintage colour it has. It's really quite interesting. And I'm really pleased with its health, because I've seen this kind of out and about, and they always look a bit shocking, so that's why I've never really bought one. But getting this as a gift, and the sample, the cutting that was sent was this healthy, I was like, wow. I think even unboxing it, I said, wow, you know, like I've never seen this plant actually looking quite so beautiful. But yeah, some of the leaves are kind of upside down. I don't know what that's all about, but anyway, I'm sure it'll figure itself out. I want to show you this guy next, which is my Hoya parasitica black margin, which I bought around the same time as the Wietii. So we're talking 2 years. It has bloomed before, so I'm going to show you its bloom this year. It has actually bloomed more often in the past, and this is the first bloom I've had all season, which is kind of, well, I mean, it bloomed very quickly, let's just say that. When I bought this plant, within 2 or 3 months, it had peduncles and it was blooming. So yeah, very easy bloomer. Check out how like waxy, oh, hang on. Maybe that angle, here we go. Yeah. It's really waxy. The blooms, they're stunning, with a little pink yellow dot in the center, then pink, and a waxy white color. And I love the kind of boldness about it as well, which is just so pretty. Oh my gosh, it's a gorgeous plant. Right, okay, we're moving down to another plant that I have wrapped around the posts. Let me just move you. And this plant, oh my gosh, hang on. Let me just, oh my gosh, let me just zoom in a little bit just so you can see what's going on. So I put it in this, check out the roots. Oh my gosh. Let's start at the beginning. This plant, I did a plant swap. I've had it probably almost 2 years, and I was given something like 5 leaves, and out of the 5 leaves, because they were sent all the way from Scotland, in one of the hottest seasons, one of the hottest weeks of the season, and they were wrapped in tinfoil. It was like a bit of a disaster, but I salvaged about 3 leaves maybe, and this is what I've grown from that cutting. Hoyas are amazing, aren't they? Check out these leaves. How stunning is the print on the leaf. Very, very unusual. And it has been growing and growing, and it wrapped itself around this post, going all the way up. And the most exciting news is it has given me its very first peduncle. Let me just find it. There it is. I found it. There. Did I say this is a crimson, sorry, what am I saying? This is a Hoya australis lisa. Yeah, so my Hoya australis lisa has been growing like crazy. She's also up there. She's all over the place, and I can't believe how far we've come from just a cutting of 5 leaves that were all wrinkly and just awful. They were looking really bad. They were looking very bad when I received them, and I just painstakingly, patiently persevered and managed to grow such a substantial plant. And let me just show you some more of the leaves. Oh my gosh, the print is just... Hoya Australis Lisa, get yourself one. It's one of my favourites, and now that it's blooming, well, it's not blooming, it's pedungling, but when it blooms, wow, I'm very excited to see what's going to happen. Next is another Hoya. This is a Hoya, I think it's Etetrina. Let me just read it actually. It's written on the back. Eretrina. This is my Hoya Eretrina. I knew it was something like that. And it has produced quite a few new leaves actually since I bought this plant. I've had it about 10 months. This is its latest new leaf. These two are definitely new leaves, and this one here is a new leaf. So I just started with these four leaves, and this is what we have now. It's spreading upwards, it's doing its thing, it's doing its Hoya thing. I just noticed another, what is that? Oh, it's a splash on the leaf. Wow. So this is kind of like one of my first, what do they call these Hoyas that look a bit dinosaur-y? You know what I mean? They're kind of like, they're pretty hardcore leaves. And I'm interested to see how big those leaves can get. But this is what we're dealing with at the moment, and I'm very, very happy. We don't have any like peduncles or anything, but it's not all about the peduncles, you know. Next I want to show you is my Hoya Nuna Pink. Look with the light on it. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty, and it's been growing so much. This was a cutting from a subscriber. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Look at the new leaves. There's been loads of new leaves, loads. It was just kind of like a little bunch, and now it's, you can see it's beginning to trail, and it's just so pretty. Put it in the light. Oh, and I'm guessing the pink bit is about the bloom, maybe. Maybe we're gonna get a really cute pink bloom. But yeah, it's been in pon and rerouted, I would say for about 2 or 3 months. And this is what we're getting. Hoyas are fantastic. Once you kind of like know what you're doing, they do grow quickly. So, you know how people say Hoyas are so slow, they grow slowly. Okay, it's not a philodendron where you're getting bigger and bigger leaves, but they do grow quickly. They really do. It's just you have to kind of keep an eye on them. You will not really notice if you take your eye off the ball. Here is another Hoya that was gifted from a subscriber, from the same subscriber, these two. And it has a peduncle. Can you see? Let me just get my hand in there. See, no, that doesn't help. There. Peduncle. So yeah, this is a Cronianum black, and I've seen these out and about as well, and it's definitely not a plant that seems to ever look good. Another one that always looks a bit wrinkly and a bit not great. But when this arrived, it did actually look it looked quite good. You can see with the new leaves. Can you see the new leaves? Let me see if I can get my hand in there. But yeah, with the new leaves, you can see they're actually really quite healthy and quite sweet. The older ones, yeah, they look a little shocking. They do. Let me look at this one. But I do believe that this will grow into quite a nice plant. I do have kind of pretty good humidity in my home, so fingers crossed that's going to be good for the plant. Did put this in a propagation box to see if I could get rid of those wrinkles. Didn't seem to like the propagation box, gotta say. Didn't seem to like it. But check out the roots. Same thing, pon. And yeah, it lives down here and it gets a lot of natural light. It's also got a light above it, but the sun, when it is out full force, it goes all over this. In fact, I might have to move the plant in the background because I can see it's getting very bleached. Let me just push you back and then I can put you back in. Yeah, oh my gosh, she does look a bit, I'm gonna grab her. Let's grab this plant. This is part of my, oh no, guys, no. There'll be no hugging. Oh yes, they're so playful. Yeah, this is part of my Hoya parasitica, no, pubicalyx. Yeah, this is part of my Hoya pubicalyx, which is in pon. Got lots of roots. Very healthy plant, but extremely sun bleached. And when I show you the mother plant, which has always been in lower light, you'll see what I'm talking about. Sorry, they're just gripping onto everything. But I love how I kind of keep it at this shape, and I tend to just trim down the tentacles because I just want to keep it like this. I have a lot of this plant. I think no, actually I've only got one other part of this plant, which is the mother plant. I sold all the other bits, which is great because I now have a little pocket change to buy some more Hoyas. But yeah, looks really cute and whimsical, and I just like kind of keeping it trim like this. I mean, it can grow more leaves if it wants to, but I just kind of like, well, I'm going to cut that tendril off actually because I can see it's going to cause some problems. But yeah, I'll just put it there for now. Behave. Okay, next, let's move on. I want to show you this guy before I spill it over. This is my Philodendron Florida Ghost. Oh, we got some sun. Go on, girl, go on, get in there. Yeah, this is actually a cutting that I've rooted in sphagnum moss. You can see it's got lecker balls at the bottom, which also has a lot of roots. Oh my gosh, I really do need to repot this, and it looks very dry. But yeah, I haven't really had any of the white leaves yet. They're all just coming out green. This is probably the lightest one that I have. So I've just been testing out different types of lighting at the moment with this thing. At the moment it's getting a lot of like direct sunlight, and this is the leaf that I got. Feels very solid, feels really good actually. It's very smooth. But no white leaves, so I don't know what's going on. Maybe I'll try changing the fertilizer or something. We've got a new one coming. I actually have another Florida Ghost in the hallway, which I might pot up with this one to make like a fuller plant or something. I don't know. But yeah, if you have any suggestions on how I can get the white leaves, I would appreciate that. Pop you there. Let's move on to my, okay, this is my Anthurium warwickwinearium. I know she looks shocking, I know, but she has this kind of weird spotty, I think it's like it's more than a bacterial infection. It's kind of part of the plant, and so whenever a new leaf comes, I've noticed that the older leaf does this. And it arrived in sphagnum moss and had 3 leaves, and out of the 3, one of them was doing this. And I silly really, because I chopped off that spotty leaf just because I didn't really like what it looked like. But then after doing a bit of research, I should have kept that leaf, because actually the plant, if it does have this type of issue, look at the back. If it does have this type of issue, then one leaf generally will be sacrificed in this way and the others will be fine. But yeah, I didn't get that bit of information in time. Anyway, we've good news. The good news is, I'm going to put it on the floor even though it's dragging down. The good news is we've got a new leaf and it's just unfurling. Yeah, it looks really cute. I bought this, it's in soil. I bought this plant at the same time as most of my anthuriums. I bought it at the same time and at the same place as my Pillidiforum for my birthday. And yeah, that's that guy. Not the easiest, I've got to say it. I mean, like, if you're a beginner with the anthuriums, I mean, it's pretty common knowledge that this plant is quite fussy, but I do believe that once I understand this plant fully, I can grow it to its full glory. I do believe I can get there. We'll get there in the end. We will. We're beginning to like enjoy each other. I think this is going to be the first summer, so we'll see what happens. The next plant I'm going to show you is also an anthurium and was bought at the same place, which was, I went to the rare plant market last year, and I think that was its actual last year. I don't think they'll be doing it again, which is quite sad because they had some gorgeous plants, but I was on a budget and I stuck to my budget. I didn't go over it. I think I went over maybe by £20 or something, but I had an idea in my head of what I wanted to spend. I must say they were all bargains. They were fabulous. But yeah, let's move on to the next anthurium, which is my Luxurians Dark Form. This is its latest leaf. Check out the size of this leaf. It's insane. It's so big. Let me just drag her out. Try not to squash that leaf. So it did just harden off. It's finally finished sizing up and hardened off. It did struggle, and we've got a rip there. It was kind of whilst it was unfurling at that very first stage, and I just didn't notice it. I love the rippling on this. Are you seeing this? Oh, I mean, gosh, it's like a dinosaur or something. It's completely reptilian. I love it. I love this plant. It's one of my favourite anthuriums. Check out its lobes, how they fold over each other. It's like a little bunny rabbit. It's so cute. And there's more. This plant gets even more interesting. Check out the back of the leaf. Now this kind of reminds me of an alocasia, like dragon scale maybe. But yeah, it's tough. It's tough as old boots, and I love the squareness of its petiole. Let's see if I can show you how square it actually is. Can you see it? How weird is that? And it's got this, it's just bizarre. It's got like this kind of serrated edge here, but it looks like plastic. Does this not look like a plastic plant? It's just ridiculous. Anyway, also got my first inflorescent as well, which I have been taking the pollen off each day. I probably need to do it again today. I got loads off yesterday, so I'm very excited about that. I definitely want to do get some seedlings on the go. So the next inflorescent I will be self-pollinating. The other leaves are looking a little shocking. These are the original leaves. That's an original leaf. I think it's only grown 2 new leaves in my care, and that's an original leaf. So these 2 were grown in my care, but as you can see, kind of messed up with the watering. But I also changed the soil from just my regular aeroid mix to tree fern fibre. Well, it's a mixture of the 2 soil mixes. So I don't know. I guess I was still kind of working out, because there is a difference between the watering. I'm definitely watering this one more often when it's got tree fern fibre. But I can see that the tree fern fibre is paying off, because that leaf is just, it's very glossy. Yeah. I've also been giving all my anthuriums, sorry, you're looking at the floor. I've also been giving my, let me just push it back. Yeah, I've also been giving my anthuriums iron with the fertilizer, because I was told from a subscriber, very good tip on, you know, if you need your anthurium leaves in, well, I suppose all leaves, if you want them to be a little darker in colour. So I'm hoping that that's going to work. I mean, I've only been using it for about a month, so it's still early days. But oh my gosh, can you just see why I love this plant? It's just crazy. And actually I shouldn't have pushed that plant in there, because now I can't show you the one behind. Let's do this one next actually. This one is an anthurium I also bought around my birthday time. I bought this one from my store that I work at. It was labelled crystallinum. I think they were just in like a crystallinum mix. Now, sometimes growers are, you know, hybridizing and they're pollinating on different plants. So it's definitely, the crystallinum is definitely one of the mother plants, but I would kind of guess that the other one could possibly be a Doriaki or a silver blush. So it could just be a very rounded version of a silver blush, or it could in fact be a crystallinum with a Doriaki mix. I do have a Doriaki, I will show you that one afterwards. Look at its little sinus, it just protrudes like that, like a little belly button. So cute. Been struggling with the watering, definitely struggling with the watering. I think this one is also in tree fern fibre, so we are going through a little bit of a I don't know, growing pains. This is its latest leaf. It's still hardening off. I don't know, it's slightly disformed, so I might start adding calcium to its fertilizer. Like whenever you start seeing kind of odd things happening, sometimes that's a calcium deficiency. Let's have a look at its roots. Roots are pretty good. So, I mean, we're not seeing any kind of dodgy roots. I don't know. We'll see what happens with that guy. Under here, let's see if I can just move. Under here is my anthurium clarinervium. Actually, it's not mine. This is one that I will be giving to a lucky subscriber. I'm going to be doing a competition, but I just want to grow it so it's a little bit bigger. That's its latest leaf, which is looking gorgeous. It does have a little rip in it, but I'm hoping that it gets dappled light under here and seems to be really liking it. Sorry, that's not probably the easiest place to show you. But yeah, I've got more clarinerviums to show you, so we'll just skip her for now. The next one I want to do is my Vichy, my Anthurium Vichy, also known as the King. Check out this leaf. Oh my goodness, so shiny. It's golden, so pretty. I'm always scared to touch it, but yeah, it's really soft. Oh my gosh, it's very soft. And where was its last leaf? I think the last leaf was this one. So, oh my gosh, it's definitely sizing up. Was it that one or was it this one? May have been that one. I think that's, yeah. So yeah, I mean, if it continues sizing up, then it's definitely going to be bigger than the last one, the last leaf. Look at its abs. Yeah, it's definitely the King, right? This anthurium I decided to put into pond because I've heard that it's quite thirsty and it can also be treated a little bit more like a philodendron when it comes to lighting. Although it is under here, it does get some direct sunlight. Yeah, it does get direct sunlight, and so does, well, in fact, all of these plants under here, they do get direct sunlight. The clarinervium gets kind of more of a dappled, like, yeah, the clarinervium over there gets more of a dappled, like kind of sun situation, but pretty much everyone else is getting full light. So yeah, that's kind of where they're all living, under there, under these two largely leafed plants, which I will be doing next. Let me just do this little guy on the corner. So this is a Cebu Blue. I've had this for under a year. I can't say that it's been the easiest for me. I do think it's a low light plant, and so I have been struggling on finding the right location for it. But I think finally now it is in the right space. Had it in pond for a little while, did put it back into soil. We've got one sticky mat there because, yeah, I did a recent video on pest control, but I haven't gone around and stuck sticky mats everywhere just yet because I wanted to do this video. But yeah, it's looking happier. But the leaves do look a little bleached in places, so we're still figuring things out. But yeah, it's an epipremnum, so it's very similar to a philodendron. Epipremnum Cebu Blue, I hope I did say that. So I pretty much treat them the same way as I do my other drought-tolerant plants, like the philodendrons. Okay, let's move on to the Monsteras. So Monstera Thai constellation. Where to begin? Oh my gosh, the leaves. I bought this not that long ago actually. When did I buy this plant? I've had it about, I don't know, half a year, 6 months, let's say 6 months. Yeah, I've had this plant about 6 months, and those leaves, I mean, it really does. If you've ever been in the outback, or like if you are from the city, then you might not have seen the stars where you can literally see the galaxy. But yeah, that's kind of like what these leaves are giving me. I must say it's not the fastest grower, but thank God for that, because it is a really big plant. I bought this from the store that I work at. It did come with a pest issue, which is why it was half the price. With both the plants, actually both of them came with spider mite, and they've been treated, and I've not seen spider mite since. But they are both plants that I wash down quite frequently. They do like that. Okay, let's have a look at its latest leaf, which you can see that double fenestration. And if you can get in here, you can definitely see that there's something happening right there. Can you see? So we will be getting a new leaf any day now. You'll probably get, I mean, I don't know how often I get leaves. Every 3 months. Let's say I'm getting a leaf every 3 months. It is in soil. It is in a non-drainage pot with a layer of lacquer at the bottom. And I have to literally lift this plant out of there to see about the whole moisture thing, which is annoying, but I do like it in the white pot because against the wall it kind of works for me. Moving on to my Monstera albo, and I just want to show you the leaves. I mean, some of them are just really pretty impressive. Yeah, got a bit of a ripped leaf here, which is a bit of a pity because it was a pretty one. Look at the mintiness on that. So pretty. Every single leaf has some really interesting white and minty bits of splashing. Check out this leaf. Yeah, they're all really impressive. I actually found some mealybug on this leaf yesterday. Got rid of that. Put it straight into the shower, gave it a good old wash. The moss pole is nice and moist now. It lives on a moss pole, full of roots. So if I do decide to propagate this plant, that will make it nice and easy for me. Now let's see, what are the leaves that have grown in my care? This is the latest one, and you can definitely see that that's a summer leaf, and this one is a kind of a wintry leaf. I think that was the leaf before. That one grew here, and then before that one it was this one, which actually isn't that bad a size, but when you compare them to, you know, these leaves, they should be sizing up, not down. We've got fenestrations in this one, but this winter leaf was the first without any fenestration. And I was really worried that it was going to become more and more immature, but luckily we've hit summer now. Check out this leaf here. Now, someone was asking me how I keep the whiteness on the leaves, like what is it that I'm doing? I haven't actually started using silica. I have heard other YouTubers talk about silica. I haven't actually purchased any yet, but I must say, I think what I'm doing is getting these lights, but it's also getting light from a southeast facing window. But obviously on those days where it's kind of cloudy, it at least has some kind of lighting. And it also gets a shower. So those leaves get washed definitely every 2 weeks. When it gets really hot, I make sure I do that once a week. And that's the only time I really water the moss pole as well. Because it's a drought tolerant plant, the moss pole does not need to be like saturated all the time. It just needs to be watered as it would be if it was just in a pot with soil. So once a week, so that's what I'm doing. Maybe the humidity from the moisture in the sphagnum moss is creating a good environment to keep the leaves white. It could be that because I'm washing those leaves. Yeah, that's kind of all I'm doing. I haven't any kind of potions that I'm using. I do fertilize all my plants with great white. What am I saying? Not great white. I do fertilize all my plants with golden leaf fertilizer. What else am I doing? That's pretty much it. It really is. And to be honest, I'm not always watering the moss pole with fertilizer because I'm showering it. So I'm actually, maybe if I started using fertilizer, I'd get larger leaves. But anyway, that's the last leaf. And hopefully during the summer, we'll get some more and it'll start maturing back to full fenestrated leaves. But yeah, time to move on. We're going up to my Hoya section. This is my Hoya Crimson Queen. And look at this blue. Ooh, battery's low. Look at this bloom. Oh, there's not a scent from that bloom, but I can smell one of my blooms. Oh, and I'm going to show you that one next. But yeah, this is my Crimson Queen. I've had this for about 2 years, or is it a year? I'll have to put the correct time up because I actually can't remember. I think it's a year, might be 2. Anyway, yeah, this one is actually in soil. I do struggle with the watering to get it right. Generally, it has got to stages where the leaves have got really soft and you can see the plant does not like it when you wait until it gets kind of soft leaves. Yeah, we've got some yellowing, but it's the lower one, so it's not too scary. But yeah, that's that dude. It blooms a lot. When I bought it, it bloomed, and it bloomed all through the winter, and it's gonna just keep blooming. We've got another peduncle up there, which actually it didn't fully bloom, like it didn't produce a full bloom, but they'll open up soon enough. I think I've got one more peduncle just there at the back, if you can see that. Oh, we've got two actually. So hopefully those will activate. Yeah, I recently bought some orchid blooms, so maybe I'll try watering this plant with that. But anyway, let's move on. This is my Hoya Crahanianum Super Silver Splash, and it is in bloom. Let me show you the one that's open. That's this one. Is it that one? Look how fluffy. Whoops, here we go. So fluffy. Really unusual bloom. Smells gorgeous. I wish you could smell this. This one is just busy opening at the moment. It looks like little stars. They're so cute. And the splash gets high highlight, this one. And the splashing is definitely produced from that highlight. This side needs to get, this plant was somewhere else before, and this side you can see was in a darker area. Not mad at it. Look, I mean, the splashing is almost gone. Oh my gosh, some of the leaves look like little hearts or spades or something. And it's covered in peduncles. We've got one, we've got 2, 3, 4. Did I count that one? 5, 6 at the back, 7 right here. We've got another one right there, 9, 8. We've got another one here, 9. The one that's blooming now, 10. We've got another one here, 11. One here, 12. Is that all of them? 12 blue peduncles on this plant. And the peduncles, they don't fall off. The plant just will then bloom again from those same peduncles. So love that. And I've had this plant, I would say, I think I bought this last year. I do truly believe that I did. Okay, this plant was from a subscriber, a different subscriber, but nonetheless another subscriber. This one is a Hoya Singulatus Alas River. Is there a red in there somewhere as well? But anyway, it's absolutely gorgeous. Look at these leaves. I give it highlight because I love the redness. I love that bleaching. This plant clearly likes highlight. Some plants, you'll just see that if you give them highlight, the bleaching won't go red. It will just go pale green. That's when you know you need to move the plant. But this one seems to be absolutely loving it. Came as a cutting of, I don't know, it was tiny. It's definitely a lot bigger now. And it's been almost a year since I got it, so very, very happy with that one. Let's do this one next. This is another cutting. I actually can't remember the name of this one. Hoya, I can't remember. I'll have to put the name up, but when this one arrived, it was looking kind of sad. Just doesn't want to zoom in, do you? Do you? Do you? Here we go. Is this better? Oh, that's better. Yeah, when the person that sent this to me did say that it had been in full sun and quite clearly didn't like it. So it's kind of, you know, it's busy rooting at the moment, but when it produces some new leaves, hopefully they'll not look like that. But so that's why it's over here in the corner. It's kind of getting light, but it's very dappled. Nothing heavy going on there. Actually, I need to move you there for a moment. I'm going to show you this guy, which is my Hoya rotundi or rotunda. It looks kind of like a Ripsalis. It's not, I'm still trying to figure it out. It was up on my pin board, like, yeah, it was just kind of there before, but I don't think it was enough light. So, because we're getting yellowing, and yellowing is generally a sign of you've either overwatered it or there's not getting enough light. Now, I do not overwater. I am an underwaterer. So yeah, I decided to give this one some more light. Hopefully that is a good move and we'll get some better growth. This plant can look really lovely. The best part of the plant, that bit there, was given to me by a subscriber, and then the other part of the plant I bought from Grow Tropicals. But yeah, hopefully it'll just, you know, I don't know what to say about that one really, but yeah, I've had that for about 10 months. And then behind, let me just move you there. Behind is my Crassi petiolata. And recently it has been producing lots of new leaves. As you can see, there's a new baby one right there. And then those two smaller ones are new. And up here as well, we're growing, I put it on this kind of metal, yeah, I just kind of bought some wire and just did a really rough trellis thingy. It's probably not the cutest, but the plant's happy and that's what it's all about. I will kind of, I don't know, maybe I'll do better once this thing needs repotting. But yeah, I bought this about 10 months ago as well. I bought it at the same time as when I got the Erythrina. And there's one other plant that I'm going to show you next that I bought at the same time because I just wanted that kind of Jurassic type of Hoya instead of the more delicate, whimsical ones. Yeah, that's that dude. I'm going to put that one back. Wow, this is going to be a really long video because I think we're on about 2 hours. I'm going to have to like chop this up a bit. Right. Let me scoop you back over there. Next is my Hoya flagellata. Flaggy. Am I saying that right? Flagellata. Oh, I am. Wow. I don't know how. You know, before I started this video, I was like, how am I going to remember all the names? But I don't know how my brain does it. I just remember them. It's weird. It's spooky. This is my flagellata. I don't know. And we've got new leaves. Those two there. How cute. And then this one at the top. Look how fluffy it is. Fluffy. Love this plant. I really hope that the leaves are going to get bigger. Sorry, camera work is so bad at the moment. Yeah, the clouds are back. Put it on a trellis. There's nothing really that amazing about the back of the leaf. It's completely vein free. This one has no veination. It's all about the splash. They're really hard, these leaves. Why are you not focusing? It's so annoying. Okay, here. Look how splashy and how dark they are as well. And this one is definitely getting a lot of light. And it sits right there. And we're moving on to my Hoya rotundi flora, one of my favorites. And when I was given this as a gift from a subscriber, oh my gosh, I actually couldn't believe I owned it. Look at this rectangular leaf. How bizarre is that? And it's grown like nuts. It's grown so much. I look at this all the time and I just think, how did that happen? How did you grow like that so quickly? Again, the pon, loves the pon. It came with no roots. I rooted this myself. I think it had about 5 or 6 leaves, and now look, we're looking at that. With every growth point comes 2 leaves. So it was really fun, like kind of counting this one up, and now I've just stopped counting because it's just now looking like a proper plant. I'm really, really loving it. The leaves are very tough and they're actually kind of fluffy. You see, you can kind of see on that one. But anyway, yeah, it's fluffy. Oh, there you go. You can kind of see it. You see that fluff? Pretty. So cute. So that's that little dude. I was also gifted this, which is a Carnosa. No. Ah, this one is it a Carnosa mini bell? I think it's just called Carnosa mini bell. Yeah, anyway, another Hoya that was given to me, and all of them came as cuttings, and I grew this into a beautiful plant. Look how cute that is. Tough as old boots. Those leaves are gorgeous. They kind of remind me of the Pubicalyx, but more slender. Does not want to focus. Here we go. Yeah, it's kind of got that Pubicalyx splash thing going on, but just the mini version of it. Really cute and extremely easy to grow from a cutting. Okay, we're gonna have to like speed this up a little bit because I'm running. I haven't even done the kitchen yet. This is my, it's a hybrid. It looks like a Crimson Queen. It's not. It's called Marginata hybrid something. Not my favourite. Would quite happily give this away. It's done absolutely nothing. It's in soil now because we struggled in pond. I can honestly say it hasn't grown. It's just, you know, if anything, it's lost leaves. Not my favourite. Anyway, let's move on to this one. This is Carnosa Dark Red. I think that's what it's called. It's really soft. I need to water it. It tends to get kind of ignored there in the background. We do have some splashing. Look how glossy it is, and it is growing like a beast. This was a cutting of like 5 leaves at max, and we now have quite the plant. Next to it is a Curtisii cutting, looking very cute. Above we have a Herchii. I'm gonna have to write up, I don't know how to say it, but yeah, it's a variegated one. Busy rooting. I can see some roots actually, which is great. Right next to that one, we've got the Hoya Matilde Splash. This one I bought from Grow Tropicals. It was a very tiny little plant, and it's not the quickest of growing, but it is worth it when you are waiting for leaves like that. How pretty is that? I did lose some leaves from that plant. They just kind of, I don't know, they just cracked it. We've got a Carnosa Compacta, which I got also from Grow Tropicals. I think it was Grow Tropicals. Just keep saying Grow Tropicals. This apparently, when it does bloom, will have a pink bloom, very similar to this. Carnosas generally have these kind of blooms. Who am I going to do next? Hoya Wietii Variegata. Very, very pretty. So cute. I love when the new leaves come out, how pink they are. So cute. And then the margin on this is kind of like multicolored almost. Can you see? It's really quite a fascinating plant actually. I really love this one. When you look at the margin of the Wietii, just the plain one, they're just dark red. which is also really gorgeous. And when the leaves first come out, they also do that pinky thing, more red on the plain Woyeti. I almost stopped knocking that plant. Anyway, let's get back to these guys, because otherwise I'm not going to finish this video. This up here is a Hoya crassipetiolata, but the splash, I'm going to take it off because that is a weird angle. Hoya crassipetiolata splash, and that is a new leaf. The first leaf in my care. Also came as a cutting, just those 2 leaves with no roots. And I don't know if we're going to see roots, but it's clearly rooted because, I mean, it's just produced that beautiful leaf. Okay, let me put that dude back on. This one I'm going to take off also. This plant, oh my goodness. So the person that gave me the Forgetii and the Bakary that I showed you earlier also gave me this plant. This is a Hoya. It's the Bourgette. What is this thing called? I always forget the name of this one. I don't know why. I think it's because it just didn't do anything for a really long time, and I was kind of worried it was going to croak it. I pretty much tried to ignore it. I tried not to fuss around it, but look at the splash. So it's basically a variegated polyneuria. Those are looking a little yellow, but they are new leaves, and I'm just hoping they'll just calm down. I mean, it can't be high light that it's getting. Maybe it's not getting enough light. It's looking a little yellowy. I don't know if anybody can tell me, is that normal? Do let me know, put that in the comments down below. But I mean, it is kind of up here. I'll show you where it was. That's where it's living. So it's kind of getting light. It's not getting a ton of light. So maybe I'll move it and we'll see if that helps. But anyway, that's that dude. Okay, so now the brain is feeling slightly more fried. This one is Hoya breviolata. I think it's this one. It's either this one or this one. But yeah, this is Hoya breviolata, and I got it as a cutting, and it's growing on me. I mean, it's just, you know, obviously as a cutting, it's not very impressive. But now that it has more leaves, it is kind of making more of an impression on me. I do love it. And then the one that's above is, let me just get it off. I'm trying to think what it is at the same time. This one is Hoya. Hoya Lorry, something like that. I'll write it. I think it's Lorry. Anyway, moving on. As you can see, we're getting new leaves, so looking very cute. I love how balloony it looks. Doesn't it look like blown up balloons or something? But yeah, she's very pretty. Interesting to see what she's going to look like once she starts trailing. It's definitely a plant that's going to become more impressive once it starts trailing, and possibly a bloomer. Time will tell. Okay, I think I have one more. Okay, this plant is a Hoya Cherokee. I hope that I'm saying that right. It produces a beautiful pink flower, apparently, and it has quite a nice fluffy, you can't really see it actually, but there's a fluffiness about the leaf, especially to the touch. Okay, my battery's dying, so I need to do this one really quickly. Yeah, I love the little splashing. It's very cute. And yeah, there's not much else to say about it. It does have quite a texture to the leaf that's kind of similar to the Curtisii. Got like a kind of perforated, but this one's fluffy. You can see there the fluff. I need to go and charge real quick, and then we can do the kitchen. So I'm moving over to this side of the room, which I recently put a new plant shelf here, and I'm really pleased with how it's looking. But yeah, let's go over here. So I did say that I had more Anthurium clarinerviums. This is a plant that I actually rescued. It was 4 other parts to this plant, and so you can imagine how big the plant actually was. The leaves, the original leaves are all damaged, all of them. So it's definitely a rescue plant. But things are moving along quite nicely. I do believe we got some new growth coming. I've got another one in the bedroom that I was planning on selling, which has a new leaf coming. She's got a cute little leaf that nods to one side. Yeah, and it just kind of lives here. And I can't say that it's happy or unhappy, but that's it. Got another clarinervium here. This is actually the first one that I ever got, and I've had this about 1.5 years, maybe 2 years. I'll put the correct date up if that is wrong. And it's being propped up with sticks at the moment. So the other 2 anthuriums that you've seen so far are in soil, and this one is in pon. Put this in pon quite a long time ago. I did do a short. If you have seen that, you would have seen like the whole journey. But yeah, it's been suffering. It's not the happiest. I must say I do ignore it. It doesn't get a lot of attention at all. I forget to water it all the time, and I'm surprised it hasn't croaked it. This is its latest leaf, which is pointing downwards. It's something that this plant really enjoys doing, looking at the floor. I do not know why it's doing that. But yeah, that leaf just didn't size up, so clearly not the happiest. Under here I have a pretty turtle, a streptocarpus. That's the mother plant. No, that's not the mother plant, that's the baby. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, I think this is the baby. Why can't I get you? Here we go. Yeah, she's so pretty and really fluffy to the touch. You can see that fluff there. Super, super fluffy. I wouldn't say that it's the easiest plant, but once you do understand it, it is plain sailing. I do believe there's some flowers producing in there. It is a plant that flowers. It's part of the African violet species, so you will get like some really cute flowers on this. I think it was white flower. It's either white or purple. It tends to flower around this time of the year, and then that's your lot kind of thing. But yeah, this is a pup that I separated from the mother plant, which is up here, and they almost look the same size now. It's kind of bizarre. But yeah, when I need to water this plant, the bottom leaves are the ones that I'm kind of looking at. Oh, she's crispy. Yeah, the bottom leaves kind of start flopping. I have put this into a clear vessel. You can see that there's a bit of condensation, but look at the root system. Really happy, but I'm really pleased that I have it in a clear vessel, because that tells me when I can just literally look at the soil and see whether it needs watering or not. We are getting close to another watering. I'm probably doing this one every 10 days. I wish it was a weekly thing or an every 2-week thing, but it's not. Okay, so yeah, but yeah, I really love this plant. It's one of my all-time favorites. Next to that plant is a struggling gloriosum, a philodendron gloriosum. It's a creeper, as you can see. Got a brand new leaf coming. I've got 2 gloriosums, but they both look very different. I'll show you this one. Really need to speed along because the battery didn't completely charge. Yeah, we've got a little pup in the bottom there, and we've got these leaves, but I think they're getting a little bit bleached. I'm not sure if that is the right place for them to live. But yeah, I bought this plant. It was actually the size of the pup, maybe a little bit bigger. Yeah, the leaves were like that size. So we've come quite a distance, and I've had this plant for almost 2 years. Let's move on. So that's that Doriaki that I was talking about. And I'm not going to talk about it for too long. It's just a plant that I tend to ignore, and it lives under there in pond. And yeah, it's not the easiest. I grew it from a plant that was pretty much the same size. I actually bought it at the same time as this plant, and they were both seedlings. This is a cutting from my Crimson Queen. Look at all those beautiful, beautiful white pearl leaves. So I did put it on the shelf. It was getting natural light, and I got some bleaching, which I do not want for this plant. So I put it back under here because this is where it was happiest. On top, I've got a Maranta, the Fascinator. It's got like this gorgeous red stripe. It's got it's flowering as well. I've got little purple flowers. It's been flowering a lot actually, so it seems to be very, very happy. There's a lot to this plant. It definitely looks better by night than it does by day. By day it's all folded in like this, but sorry, the lighting is a bit bad. Let me see if I can get some additional lighting. That's a bit better. Oh, that's so much better. Yeah, so there she is. She looks a lot better now. Just needed some light. Yeah, I've had this plant. I rescued this plant, and I've had it for about 6 months, maybe less. Next to that plant is my other Gloriosum, Philodendron Gloriosum, another little creeper. This plant was huge. I grew it to quite a size, and then it got some sort of pest and croaked it almost. I managed to save 2 little stumps, and so I've got 2 plants in there. You can see that they're both pushing out new leaves, so that's good news. The leaves are gorgeous. Look at that one. So you can see there's quite a difference between that plant and this one. The leaves are much longer. It's kind of growing slightly differently. Slightly longer petioles, these stems. Yeah, that's pretty much all I can tell you, but they're both in pon, and yeah, I just kind of wait for that condensation to evaporate, and then I water the plant again. It's a drought tolerant plant, so I find that that's the best thing to do. Let it dry out like pretty much completely, and then water it again. So yeah, with these plants I'm definitely not seeing any weird crispy leaves or anything, so I think I'm on it. I think we're on the right track. I might just leave that plant there. Up here we've also got another little Monstera albo. This was from a salvaged leaf from the dustbin at work, and it had spider mite. It was minging. The leaf itself was it was yellowing. It was awful, and it was covered in spider mite. Treated the leaf, obviously. Don't put it in a dome, and grew this plant from just that one leaf, so I'm really pleased with that. We've got a newbie. This is a very new plant. I don't think I've shown you guys this plant. Have I shown anyone this plant? I don't think so. I've had it for about a week or 2, so it's unlikely. It's a little baby Warwickwianarium. I bought this from the store that I work at. It wasn't labelled as anything. It was just labelled as Anthurium mix. So I'm guessing they didn't really know what it was, maybe. And that is a new leaf. So it'll be interesting to see if it'll be bigger than that one. I did repot it. into a much larger vessel, and it's got some gorgeous new roots. Look at that root. Stunning. And that's pretty much all I can tell you about that plant because it is quite a new one. My other pretty turtle, the mother plant. Moving on to my 2 alocasias. These are the only two, what am I trying to say? These are the only 2 alocasias that I have. This is a black velvet, and I grew this one from a corm. I'll show you what a corm is. Got 2 gorgeous leaves. And in the back you can see we've got 2 corms, they're rooted. But yeah, I was just given 1 corm, just one of those. Well, there's another one there. Oh, that's the best thing about alocasias, is that it kind of just reproduces all the time. So yeah, I just grew the plant from one of these corms. That's all I had. Look at the back of the leaf. There's that red that I love. Actually, the Maranta also has a little red backing to it. But yeah, really pretty. I might actually get some more alocasia. There is one other that I would really love to have, which is the Frydek, the plain green one. Not the variegated. I feel like I've got enough variegated plants. And this one is the Amazonica Bambino. And it's also in pon. And it is a fuss pot. It's a fussy plant, but we've got loads of new growth happening. That looks a bit weird, that leaf. Hopefully that's just the tip of it and not the actual full size of the leaf. But yeah, it's got a really nice print to it. It's got a gorgeous red back, deep, deep red. And yeah, I don't know, I mean, they tend to like being fairly moist, these plants. So I do water these once a week. I don't let them dry out completely like the philodendrons. I think that's everything. Oh, no, sorry. There's this plant, which is a philodendron fuzzy petiole. Its last leaf that it produced did not do well. It's still kind of unfurling. I might just chop that one off. But the latest one, this is, that was the first one after I think I cut the plant. So yeah, maybe that's just a philodendron thing. That does tend to happen sometimes if you get the timing wrong. But the newest leaf is looking hopeful. And check out, this is the reason why it's called fuzzy petiole. So that is its petiole, and look how fuzzy it is. Very, very fuzzy. And yeah, we've definitely been doing a bit of underwatering, overwatering. I tend to just water the moss pole, to be honest, but maybe I've been doing it a little too frequently. The leaves do get dusty, so I try and keep them as clean as possible. And it's in pon, not that you can see with all the sphagnum moss, there's not any roots in the bottom there. And I gave away the base of the plant, the mother plant. Moving on, the last plant in the living room is this orchid, which I recently repotted, and I can tell already that it's liking that. We've got a new leaf there. We've got loads of new roots as well. Loads of new roots. It's just nuts. Look, what is going on? How fresh those roots look. And I recently gave this plant orchid bloom fertilizer because we've barely got any flowers left. It's very sad. I know nothing about orchids, nothing. Well, apart from, you know, they like to be watered every 2 weeks, but I'm kind of messing around with the lighting. I did have it in the bedroom, but I put it back here in the living room because I think this is where it's at its happiest, and it just gets morning light. Okay, so I think I did everyone down there. I think I've got enough battery and some time to do the kitchen. So here in the kitchen, I put my Epipremnum Enjoy here. We've got some cuttings there that I'm taking into work tomorrow to give away. I've got some cuttings here on the wall of my philodendron. I recently had to chop up 2 of my philodendron trailing plants. So they're just kind of propagating there in some vessels of water. Got some great white in that water. And then up here, I've got my staghorn fern. In the corner is my Hoya pubicalyx splash, and look at the difference of the green. Look how splashy as well. So this one really likes medium to low light, and it'll just get splashier. But this one was in high light, and you can see the leaves are much lighter. There's less splashing. Yeah, so I've decided to put this one over here. I mean, not that the leaves are now going to go dark green again. They're just going to stay that colour. But at least the next leaves will, I don't know. It's going to be happier over here. So this is where it's going to live. You saw it earlier. I don't know why I'm still talking about that plant. This is my philodendron pastazanum. Yeah, pastazanum. The light's not so great in here. Let's see if I put on a light. If that'll help. Not much. Anyway, yeah, that's the pastazanum. It has looked better, but it kind of, yeah, it took a hit at the same time as the gloriosum. I'm guessing it was spider mite, to be honest. I think that's what happened. And we've got quite a few different growth points in here. I think there's about 3 plants in there. The latest leaf is looking shocking. It got this kind of weird blistering, and now it's deformed. So I moved it from my bedroom. Normally when plants are struggling, I put them in my bedroom, which you'll see another day. But yeah, anyone with a pest or anything like that gets put in the bedroom. And then I've got propagation boxes in there with my new plants, so they're kind of protected in propagation boxes. Anyway, this plant is in my chunky aeroid mix. We've got a nice drainage situation. You can see that there's some water there, and I'm hoping it will love summer and keep spider mites at bay. Next to that is the dregs, the last part, well, the part of my philodendron green heart that I took the cuttings here. And in here is like a little garden in it's like a terrarium, I guess. Is it a terrarium? Yeah, so in here, oh, now I realise I did miss a plant. So that is a Pachira aquatica, this little dude. This is a philodendron pink princess. I've got some cronianum, Hoya cronianum, like that little minty leaf in there. And I just love looking at the sphagnum moss growing also. And they're so cool. So yeah, really cool. Look at that. So it's like a little jungle in a pot. Okay, there's one plant that I forgot to show you. I was given a kind of a rescue, like a broken part of a Pachira aquatica. And this plant did have more leaves, and then during the winter it didn't do so well. It wasn't getting enough light, and I had to cut the plant. This is what I saved, but it's looking fairly good. I'm going to put it back so I can show you the growth point. The next leaf is coming. Boom, there we go. I'll put you back under there. I'm really pleased with this little display. Okay, I'm going to turn the camera around and say goodbye. So those are all of the plants that I have here in my living room, and managed to squeeze in the kitchen as well, so I'm really pleased. It's seems like this video is going to be a long one. I will try and trim it down a bit because I've been filming for about 2 or 3 hours. Yeah, I've got a lot of plants. I need to count them up. I don't know how many. Yeah, let me know, how many plants do you think I've got in my living room and my kitchen in just this space? I will spend some time and count them up. Hit the thumbs up so that I know that you enjoyed the video. And also, if you haven't subscribed yet, please go ahead and do that. And yeah, I think that's pretty much everything now. I am going to go and get ready. I'm going to go out for dinner tonight. So I actually need to try and figure out what I'm going to wear. But anyway, I'm going to let you guys go. I hope that you have a fabulous week and I will see you here again very soon. All right, bye.